peek at the newest players on the squad and the guys hoping to break into the big.
Well, the days are dwindling here in Clearwater, Florida, but as the fans enter the playing field today, a little extra excitement, not only because the Yankees are in town, but keep that program because at some point today, Aaron Nola, last year's #1 pick for the Phils, will get the baseball against the New York Yankees. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs. All right, Aaron Nola getting a chance to pitch today. We woke up this morning, we thought he was going to be the starter, but because of the potential of inclement weather, Jonathan Papelbon, who needs to get some work in, will start today, but we should see Nola at some point, as long as the weather holds up. And speaking of Aaron Nola, some of the particulars on him, last year's 7th overall pick out of LSU, where he pitched for 3 years, and in 11 starts between single A and double A, 4-3 with a 2.93 ERA. A lot of anticipation, probably the same anticipation we had for Cole Hamels back in the day.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, he's a little different. He's going to warm up, come in second or third whenever he's coming in. You know, the key for him is to enjoy it and have fun and not to try to impress everybody, you know, from one start. They've already said he's not going north of the team after the start, depending on how he does. Just rely on his sinker. And one thing, if you get excited, you start overthrowing a little bit, your fastball doesn't sink. So I like to see him have fun, enjoy it, and just remember it.
Do you remember your first chance at big league camp?
Well, it was a few years ago. Yeah, I remember pretty good. I walked in the locker room, and Felipe Alou was our manager, and my locker partner was Jack Clark, and he was sitting there having a cigarette. I'm like, man, you're allowed to smoke in the big leagues? And I knew I had no opportunity to make the team because I was Canadian. I was playing for a Canadian team. It was kind of a PR thing, but really it was a learning experience. I watched the guys, how they approached the game, how they took batting practice, and really that's what I learned from baseball. Took it down to minor leagues and built off it.
Well, last year's top picks in the Major League Baseball draft have very different stories. None have made it to the major leagues, although Rodon from the White Sox could get a chance to make it to the big leagues this year. Brady Aiken never signed with the Astros, had Tommy John surgery just yesterday, so he's going to be on the shelf for the next year or so. Speaking of the excitement, well, earlier this morning when we thought Aaron Nola was going to be the starting pitcher, Greg Murphy had a chance to catch up with Joe Jordan, the Phillies director of player development.
All right, thank you very much, Tom, and here with Joe Jordan. Joe, kind of an exciting day, really, if for Phillies fans who might be at the ball game or watching back on television, a chance to see last year's first-round pick, Aaron Nola. What are you hoping to see?
Well, we kind of started talking about this late last week, and really for me, the only thing that I just want to see how comfortable they are, if they'll just be calm and do what they do. Aaron, from the day we got him, last June, has been exactly what we were told we were going to get. Very composed, very polished. And for me, it's just a good opportunity because the Major League staff had a day that they could use the innings from our side of the camp. It's a good opportunity just to get him out there, and like I said, he's been very impressive in spring training so far. So, we'll see if he can just be himself. If he'll be himself, he'll be fine.
I'm sure you've been able to sit down and talk with him about this opportunity. Excitement. Did you sense any apprehension? What was his reaction when he was told the news?
Well, I think the thing that I told Aaron was, listen, this is what it is. This is an opportunity for you to go over there and perform against major league hitters. You're not pitching to make the club. You will not break with our major league club in spring training. Just enjoy it. Go be yourself, and show the people what you can do. And that's what he'll do. He's very mature, polished. He wasn't overly excited, but he was grateful, expressed that. So I think he'll be himself.
Well, we'll see if he'll be himself at some point here this afternoon, but we do know that Jonathan Papelbon will make the start. He'll get 1 inning of work. Michael Pineda will start for the New York Yankees. He's probably going to be there, too, once the 2015 season gets underway. Well, we mentioned excitement. Obviously, you get a chance to see some of the alums like Dave Cash. You can soak in the sun and the entire atmosphere here at Bright House Field, including a ball game, which is coming up right after this. Phillies baseball. Nola, who's heading out to the bullpen and will get a chance to pitch, we think, at some point here today. He was originally scheduled to start, as we mentioned, but about a half hour ago, because of the threat of rain, they decided to push him back and let Jonathan Papelbon start today's ball game so he could get at least an inning in before the rains come, if they do. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. They've brought just about every everyday player. Gardner leads it off in left field, and Chase Headley at third base. Carlos Beltran starts in right field. Mark Teixeira at first base batting cleanup. Brian McCann is the catcher. He'll hit fifth. Alex Rodriguez bats sixth. In the bottom third of Drew, Young, and Ryan. Young and Ryan probably won't be the starters in center field, depending on the injury to Jacoby Ellsbury. And they will face right-hander Jonathan Papelbon, who is going to make the start here today, his sixth appearance of the spring. So far, so good for Pap. 4 strikeouts in 5 innings of work. This is not an odd thing for Papelbon. He was a starter at one point in his career. Although I would think his warm-ups are basically the same as they normally would be.
I would think so. He's out there working on some splits and some sliders, and he has started in 2005.
Brett Gardner leads it off, and the first pitch is over for a strike. We're underway.
And you can see the scouting report. He did have 3 starts back a few years ago, 2005 with the Red Sox. 96 mile an hour fastball, slider, curve, and a very good splitter.
Yeah, there was a point, even after he closed for Boston, that they were tinkering with making him a starter again. It didn't last that long. There's Nola, who's going to start to warm up as we speak. So it looks like he'll pitch the second inning for the Phils. No balls and 2 strikes to Gardner, who this spring is 6 for 43, a 140 hitter. Fastball upstairs. Now 31 years old. Gardner's numbers were down last year average-wise, but power-wise, at least from the home run standpoint, they were up. He had 17. Swing and a miss. Got him with a split. And there's 1 out here in the first inning.
This is probably one of the best split fingers we've seen him throw all spring. Fastball's been about 93, 94, and all of a sudden that bottom drops out. Very good movement. And that's the key. You need to miss low and in the dirt with the split finger.
All right, so 1 out here is Chase Headley. Any question about Headley being the starting third baseman, he's kind of answered, not only with the contract he got this offseason, but he's having a heck of a spring. 12 for 38, hitting .316 with a couple home runs. Switch hitter batting left-handed against Papelbon. Chopper toward first. Papelbon is over to cover. 2 quick outs.
Batting third, number 36, Carlos Beltran, right field.
They'll bring Carlos Beltran to the plate. The weather for today, we mentioned there's a threat of rain. 80 degrees, winds coming from right field, 10 to 15 miles an hour. They're whipping up pretty good right now.
It's a good day to hit for a left-hander.
I was going to say. There's Beltran, who takes low, 1-0. Beltran so far 6 for 30 this spring for the Yankees. 8-time All-Star, was battling knee problems last year. He's battled knee problems a lot in his career. Boy, what a career he has had, huh?
He has done well. Had an opportunity to play with him with the Royals. And just what he can do in the outfield, his ability to hit, very impressive.
He was, during his peak, an outstanding center fielder and more than competent now as a corner outfielder. Two balls, 1 strike. Outside, and it's 3-1. Pap looked like he almost guided that one.
Yeah.
And ball 4, so a 2-out walk. And that'll bring Mark Teixeira to the plate. Ryan Sandberg's team, with their loss yesterday, 11-12-1 this spring. Meanwhile, Joe Girardi's Yankees are 13-11-1. I don't think Sandberg said, oh no, here we go again with the walk of Beltran. The Phillies walked 10 batters yesterday. Teixeira 11 for 40 this spring. He does have a home run, 3 doubles. Another switch hitter, so 3 straight switch hitters for the Yankees in this lineup. And it's quickly 0-2.
The Yankees have a lot of questions this year of who's going to stay healthy, if they can stay healthy. On paper, if these guys can stay healthy, they will put up a lot of runs.
Yeah, I think health is a big question. You're right, Matt, because they've got the power. I guess their pitching staff is somewhat of a question mark, too. Fly ball, shallow left field. Freddie Galvis ventures back, says he has it. And an easy first inning for Jonathan Papelbon. Who says a closer can't start a game from time to time? We'll go to the bottom of the first. Phillies coming up for the first time. Well, back here in Clearwater, Ryan Sandberg taking a look at his lineup card. In the backdrop is Jonathan Papelbon, who's got his helmet and his bat in his hand, just in case the Phillies get to the 9-hole here in the first inning. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup for today. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in left field, Ben Revere. Freddie Galvis will bat second. Russ Kanzler will hit third, followed by Ryan Howard and Jeff Francoeur. Odubel Herrera will be in center field batting sixth. Cesar Hernandez will bat seventh. Cameron Rupp eighth. And then batting ninth and pitching, of course, is Jonathan Papelbon, if we get to that point. And they'll face right-hander Michael Pineda. 5-5 last year, an ERA of 1.89. So far, so good for him in the spring. 3 starts, 1-0, a 2.08 ERA. Ben Revere takes a strike, and it's 0-1 to Revere.
Well, another question mark for the Yankees as long as he can stay healthy. You can see the scouting report. Tops out at 101. That's it. That's pretty good. Cutter, slider, change, and has excellent control.
That one is whacked through the hole on the right side, a base hit. 8th hit of the spring for Ben Revere. Well, Jonathan Papelbon went into the dugout talking to Steve Henderson and Charlie Emanuel just to make sure that he was ready to go just in case his time came up here in the 9th inning. Batting gloves from Carlos. Carlos very helpful. Stone face, Matt. He's ready to go.
Yeah, the problem is he's swinging the bat a little too much in the dugout. That's usually a fine.
He just asked who was pitching, and they told him. He said, doesn't matter. Freddie Galvis, the batter. Galvis hitting 280 this spring. There goes Revere. Pitch is taken for a strike, no throw. And Ben Revere swipes second base. He hasn't done that often. In fact, that's his first steal, but he hasn't even attempted anything during spring training.
Well, here's a tremendous jump right there, and McCann drops the ball, but honestly, if he would have come up with it, no chance.
No chance. All right, so now if you're Galvis, you got to get him over to third. No balls, 1 strike. Waves at a breaking ball, 0-2.
That's where it is early in the game. You want to get the momentum on your side, but in that situation, no balls, 1 strike. I don't want to see him try to bunt. If he bunts it and he gets a foul, now he's an 0-2. Even though he did take an awkward swing at a hard slider down and in, for me, I don't like seeing hitters bunt with 1 strike on them. Plus, he's been swinging the bat well.
He had a good BP session today. Mike Schmidt keeping an eye on him as he's taking his hacks this afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Galvis. Russ Kanzler waits on deck. Chase Utley and Cody Ashley both out of the lineup today. For Chase, it was an off day. For Cody, he's been bothered by a stiff back. He was scratched from yesterday's lineup. Outside, 2-2. Pineda is not a small fella.
No.
Yankees acquired him from the Seattle Mariners. He had an excellent rookie year with Seattle. Wound up making the All-Star team. Got to a little bit of trouble last year because he had pine tar on his hat. An excessive amount of pine tar on his hat. Or on his neck, I should say. Not his hat, on his neck. Neck looks clean, except for that big chain. 6'7", 260 pounds. He's got some stuff, boy.
He does. Every fastball he throws has like a little natural cut to it. Throws nothing straight.
Opposite way, and it's scooped up by Headley. Yeah, there's 1 out. So Galvis unable to move Revere over to third, and that will bring Kanzler to the plate. Brendan Ryan came in to chat with Pineda. I was wondering if he was just telling him just to keep an eye on Ben Revere now that Revere didn't get to third on the ground out.
Well, a lot of time pitchers will get into a rhythm where they'll either look once or twice towards second base. Just a reminder, hey, mix it up a little bit. Quick pitch once in a while, hold the ball a little longer. Just keep them close.
Waves at a breaking ball, so he started the last 2 hitters off with a breaking pitch. Did that with Galvis. Actually, no, Galvis was the fastball, then the breaking pitch on the count 0-1.
So now, so far, he's one looking towards Ben, and as soon as he turns his head, he's starting to throw the ball home. So I would guarantee Ben's watching how many times he's watching. He's actually counting in his head how long it is before he turns his head to throw. A lot of good base runners do that. Go.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. How many times, Matt, do you have to see it as a base runner before you're convinced that's the pattern?
Well, I mean, he's been there for, 7 pitches now, 8 pitches. Sometimes you just got to take a chance. Depends if Drew's playing real close to second base. So there's that 1 look. Now he changed it up, had the 2 look.
Kanzler so far this spring is 8 for 30, 4 runs scored. He is out of Hazleton High School. Former 30th round pick out of high school by the Chicago Cubs back in 2004. Last year he played for the Yankees in AAA and the Phillies at Lehigh Valley. Ground ball toward the hole, under the glove of Headley into left field. Revere will hold up at third. And Kanzler has his 9th hit of the spring. Ball gets away momentarily. And that'll bring Ryan Howard up. So an RBI situation for Howard early in this game. Howard does have 9 RBIs so far this spring. Watching batting practice today, Mike Schmidt was marveling at the fact that Ryan Howard's BP bat was over a year old. He said there's not even a nick in it. He said that's the quality of wood that players have in this day and age. He said, when I was playing, he said our bat would have a nick in it or a shred in it where the ball was hitting it after 3 or 4 days.
It's because they used to swing ash back in the day. Compared to maple or yellow birch.
You know, Ryan's bat, BP bat, has a lot of markings on it, but there's no cracks. Ground ball right side. That might be 2. There's 1 and 2. And the Yankees get out of it here in the first. We'll go to the second. A scoreless game as the Phillies lead 1, and Aaron Nola's coming in.
You can't find a great doctor just anywhere.
Sure you can.
Specialists?
Yep.
Primary care?
You bet.
There he is, Aaron Nola, the Phil's top pick a season ago, warming up out on the mound, getting himself ready to go here in the second inning. He'll face Brian McCann, Alex Rodriguez, and Stephen Drew. Those are his numbers from the minor leagues, 4 and 3 with a 2.93 earned run average. He also won 30 games in college with LSU.
Well, the scouting report on Aaron is he can top it at 97. Right now he's living around 90, 92 mile an hour as his arm gets a little stronger. Slider change, and he has great command. 3/4 arm action. Very late movement on the sinker.
Yeah, his last outing he pitched 3 scoreless down on the minor league fields. So he'll face Brian McCann as we start the second. McCann 8 for 34 this spring, and he takes a fastball up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. McCann coming off a year in which he had 23 home runs, 75 RBIs. And he fouls it away. It's 1-1.
Yeah, a lot of pitchers will be like Iron Mike, come right over top. That means you get that downhill playing with the fastball. Guy with a 3/4 arm slot tends to be a little flatter with the sinker. The slider's more of a little. It's a bigger sweep. A swooper. Sweeps. Yeah.
It sweeps.
So it's hard to sometimes to repeat that 3/4 angle. Left-handers like hitting it, that's for sure.
Ground ball right side. Howard is there. Nola's over to cover. And one away. Well, that was a fairly athletic play right there to go down and get that toss from Ryan Howard.
And I wasn't sure if that was Ryan Howard down to the ball and get there.
I
When
think
he tossed it.
Oh, was that what he was doing?
It don't sound like it.
Well, Alex Rodriguez is the batter, in case you didn't know. You hear the boos in the background. He's been greeted by boos most of the places he's gone. Actually, every place he's gone. Even at home. But it's been a smattering of boos at home. He'll take outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Rodriguez, who missed all of last year, suspended from Major League Baseball. One ball and 1 strike. So far, 9 for 31 this spring. It does seem like he's going to be the Yankees' designated hitter. Brian Cashman, the Yankee general manager, was talking the other day about that he thinks he's had a good camp. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. Well, Nola does have a good pace about him. He's just missing with some of those pitches toward the outside part of the plate. And it's 3-1. Ground ball toward the middle. That's a base hit. And a 1-out single for Rodriguez. And it's hit number 10 this spring.
It's been kind of impressive with A-Rod missing a full year, coming into the game hitting .290. It's just going to be interesting to see how he responds to a lot of off-speed pitches this year. I've watched some games this year, and it seems like he's hitting the fastball pretty good. But as you can see, the career RBIs at 1,969 RBIs, which is pretty good.
He's also got 654 home runs, which is 5th all time. 1 man down. Breaking ball in the outside corner. It's 0-1. Stephen Drew, the hitter. Drew 6 for 36 so far this spring. At the knees, 0-2. Speaking of A-Rod, you see those numbers, part of our Toyota report. Those numbers will be all over baseball this year because he's got some funds that will come to him if he reaches a certain number of home runs. No balls, 2 strikes. And a line drive down the right field line. That was a breaking ball that was left up into the zone for Drew. It goes to the wall. Rodriguez to third. He'll be held there. It'll be a 1-out double. Runners on second and third. And Chris Young will be the hitter.
This is the slider we were talking about, how it just kind of spins up there and doesn't have that tight bite because of the three-quarter angle. But, really, I mean, you want to get in that area where it's no balls, 2 strikes, you need to bury it. Bounce it, but learn from it. That's what it is. That's why he's here. It's a learning experience.
Chris Young playing center field today for the injured Jacoby Ellsbury. 244 this spring, 2 home runs. Corners are in. Middle infielders are back. Now the corners move back. And there's a fly ball to right field. Francoeur will get under it, try to get behind it. Rodriguez tags from third. The throw by Francoeur. He still's got an arm, and he is out at home plate. Cameron Rupp was taken toward the ball, which meant that he was taken into the baseline, and that's why there's no discrepancy about it. The putout goes 9-2, and the side is retired. Jeff Francoeur has gotten older, obviously, right before our eyes, but his arm is still very youthful. Nice play by Cameron Rupp, too, to be able to control it and apply the tag. Nola and Cameron Rupp chatting in the dugout. They were discussing that pitch. At least it seemed that way. That pitch to Drew that he was able to pull into right field for a double. But he got out of it. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Jeff Francoeur will lead it off. Francoeur was one of the reasons why Nola got out of that inning without any trouble. And Francoeur promptly rips one foul. No balls and 1 strike. Phillies do not have anyone else in their outfield that has the arm of Jeff Francoeur. I mean, I guess that's an understatement.
I mean, Dominic Brown has a good arm.
That is true. You are right about that. You're right. The Phillies do not have any right-handed throwers like Jeff Francoeur in the outfield. Taps that one back to the mound, 1 away. But that is an asset.
Well, it is. And last inning, especially with second and third last inning, he does everything perfect. He gets behind, he charges it. You know, the exchange is very nice. The good thing about it here, it's a one hop. And Cameron makes a very nice play. But it's second and third. So no matter where you throw it, if it's low, if you overthrow the cutoff man, it does not matter. The guy from second and third's going. So that's when you throw it, let it eat, get it there, and put something on. And that's one thing he's always done. Is thrown a baseball from the outfield very, very good.
Well, I guess that's a good point. I never thought about that. That you don't have to worry about hitting the cutoff man, so maybe you get a little bit more on it because you're going to let it fly.
You air it out because it does not matter, because the guy from second is going to tag anyway.
No balls and 1 strike to Odubel Herrera. 16 for 46 this spring. Off the end of the bat, a flare out toward left center field. Ryan's going out. He can't get it off the heel of his glove. And Herrera has his 17th hit of the spring. And that'll bring Cesar Hernandez to the plate. Brendan Ryan, it's pretty sure-handed shortstop. He's pretty upset that he didn't make that catch.
Still angry.
Yeah, he's still chatting with himself. Those conversations aren't always fruitful. Hernandez 4 for 39 this spring. There is a pretty good chance that Herrera is going to try to steal here.
It's always nice hitting behind a speedster, especially that first pitch. And you want to take pitches for the guy to steal bases, but you know you're going to see a lot of fastballs because you want to hold them tight and not let them steal second base or third.
0-2. I will say that the last several games, Herrera has started and stopped more often than what you normally see.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just his style or if there's something to that. Hernandez is struck out. That's the first strikeout for Pineda. And 2 outs. McDonald's opening night t-shirt is free to fans 15 and older. It'll be given out on Wednesday, April 8th when the Phillies take on the Boston Red Sox. All part of a 3-game series. Order your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Here's Cameron Rupp. Solid spring for Rupp.
I will say this, though, with Herrera at first base, it can get into be a bad habit of starting and stopping because your momentum stops. So you start to go, you stop, and then next thing you know, you got to go back towards first base because you're bluffing to steal the bases.
Breaking ball in there. It's 0-1. Chris Nelson has come out in the on-deck circle to possibly pinch hit for the Phillies. Well, they may know something that we don't know about the weather. There's nobody warming up in the bullpen.
Or has there been anyone warming up at all?
It is starting to rain lightly here. There goes Herrera. The pitch is swung out and missed, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts for Pineda. Phillies leave 1. They've had 3 hits through the first 2. We'll come back for the top of the 3rd. Six, that's the Phillies opening day. Wake up with an all-new morning show dedicated to feeding the passion of Phillies sports fans. Don't miss the premiere of Breakfast on Broad, hosted by Rob Ellis, Jillian Mealy, Barrett Brooks, and Sarah Baker. Weekday morning 6 to 8 right here on the Comcast Network. We go to the top of the 3rd. Light rain falling. Matt, it's raining hard enough that Ben Davis has left his seats and is going for cover.
He had some good seats. He was getting us some information on his on Nola's sinker. Says it's a very good sinker, very nice changeup.
Yeah, Ben was sitting about 4 rows behind home plate, and he was thinking like a catcher watching the ball come in. Here's Brendan Ryan to lead it off in the 3rd for the Yankees. First pitch is inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Nola last year was the 7th overall selection. Most folks thought that he was the most polished college pitcher in the major league drafts. That one spins Ryan out of the way. It slipped out of his hand. He was originally drafted in the 22nd round in 2011 by the Blue Jays and decided to go to LSU. He wanted to enjoy the college experience. Down the right field line, that'll be in for a base hit. Frank Court cuts it off. Ryan's thinking about 2, and he'll get there. So a leadoff double. Brett Gardner's coming up. Murph, Cole Hamels was in this spot one time, a long time ago in a Phillies uniform.
Yeah, at this point, Tom, it was a long time ago. It doesn't feel all that long ago. You still watch Cole pitch, obviously right in the middle of his prime. But, reporters went to Cole to talk to him once they heard that Aaron Nola was going to get this opportunity here today. And Cole said, you know what? He's as excited as everybody else to get a look at Aaron Nola facing some of these big league hitters. He said he was going to be having a front row seat, be on the top step, watching Aaron Nola do his work. And as you said, Aaron Nola is being compared to Cole because of the way they were drafted in the first round by this organization, and it's been some time. But these guys are excited to see the future of the organization. And, he said to Aaron, he said, look, all you can do is be yourself. Don't try to be anything else. Go out there, pitch your game, and just do what you know how to do. Don't think about anything other than just trying to stay within yourself, which I think for Aaron Nola would be very good advice, and I'm sure coming from Cole Hamels, quite a thrill as well, guys.
Chopper to first. Ryan Howard has it. He thought about making a throw over to third. Yeah, and Joe Jordan told you earlier this morning that Aaron's already been told it doesn't matter what he does here today. He is going back to minor league camp.
Yeah. and which makes complete sense. I mean, he hasn't been in Major League camp this entire time, so he's coming up here. They needed someone to throw some innings, and why not give your first-round pick a little bit of an opportunity to see some of these guys? And make no mistake about it, he's being tested by this New York Yankees lineup, which is probably going to be their starting lineup or pretty close to it when the season starts. So he's getting a taste of Major League hitters for sure.
Yeah, and I think the other part of it is if you're Ryan Sandberg or Bob McClure, you're getting a look at him that you can tuck away for whether it be later on this year or even next year, as Headley misses that first pitch fastball. I mean, there is something to that, isn't there, Matt?
Well, there is. And actually, this is probably the first time all these guys have seen him pitch in live. They've watched film. But it's hard to break down a pitcher of his style, how much movement his fastball is or his slider. So
no balls, 2 strikes. Chase Headley grounded out to Howard his first time up. The infield is in. All right, now we saw earlier in the second inning, 0-2 pitch. He left a breaking ball up. Let's see if he adjusts, as you mentioned, and try to get that sort of to the back foot. A little better?
No. Still it's too good of a pitch to hit 0-2. You got to make sure you bounce that ball, or it's an area where you can't barrel it, and that ball had too much plate. Cameron's tapping the ground. He wants that ball in the dirt.
One ball and 2 strikes, I should say.
As a hitter, I'm hoping the pitcher throws me a 2-strike off-speed pitch. Because I tell myself I have to stay back. I want to battle and put the ball and play with the runner in scoring position. Off-speed's easier to put the ball in the air than it is a fastball. Makes sense?
Definitely makes sense.
Hitters are taught with 2 strikes, look off speed, foul off the fastballs, and react.
And a called strike 3 right down the chute. 94, the quickest fastball he's thrown today. First strikeout. And Carlos Beltran will be the hitter.
So this is a nice location with the fastball. Chase is sitting off speed. You can tell because he's fooled with the fastball.
And it was just too much fastball for him to try to foul off.
Correct. Well, when you're sitting on off speed and you get the fastball, you're not very happy with yourself.
Here's Beltran. Beltran takes a strike. It's 0-1.
It's a very nice changeup.
It almost looked like he dropped down a little bit more with that pitch. He may not have. It may have just been an illusion.
I like what I've seen so far, and I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or not, but he has moved 3 or 4 hitters so far, moved their feet with the fastballs inside. Now, they say when he gets in the middle of the season and his arm strength is 100%, he can top out at 97.
With that movement.
With that movement, he adds and subtracts very well.
Tony Pena in the first base coach's box, tracks that foul ball down.
Ex-manager of mine. One of 19
I was going to say, who's not an ex-manager of yours? 2 balls, 2 strikes to Beltran. Swing and a miss. He got him. Back-to-back strikeouts. First of Headley, then Beltran. And he leaves one over third base. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Pretty good off-speed pitch to get Beltran out front. We'll go to the bottom of the third. The Phillies and the Yankees are scoreless. To you by Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEF now or visit jefferson.edu. Oh, capacity crowd here at Bright House Field. The Phillies and the New York Yankees. Phillies will be on the road tomorrow and then home again on Sunday. Aaron Nola, so far so good. He's allowed some base runners, but he just struck out Chase Headley and Carlos Beltran with a runner over third base. He will continue on. Yes, this is his spot in the order as we begin the bottom of the third, but we've now officially been told that Chris Nelson is going to act as our designated hitter for today's ball game. Takes a fastball. It's on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Can't do that during the regular season, though, Matt. You can't change during the game.
No, but actually it changed. That's what they called Joe Girardi out before the game started. When
there was a conversation. Yeah, they may have done it then. Although Papelbon decoyed everybody. Pap had the batting gloves and the bat all ready to go. Chooch's helmet. Inside, 1-2.
Program.
Chopper to short. Ooh, big hop for Brendan Ryan. And 1 out. The Fanatic MVP Club is for fans 14 and under. Members receive exclusive 2015 Fanatic MVP bobblehead, Fanatic MVP sunglasses, membership card discounts, and email newsletters. The price? That's $13. For information or to register, go to Phillies.com/MVP Club. With 1 out, here's Ben Revere, who singled and was left over third back in the first inning. It does look as if the experiment is going to continue with Revere in left and Herrera in center. And I guess at this point it looks like that's the way things are going to be when the Phillies break camp. More of an assumption than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting move. I will say that. I know they moved Ben to left field because his arm strength's better in left field, but would you rather have a stronger arm in left field or a more natural center fielder like a rabbit who runs everything down in center field?
It's definitely an experiment for Herrera. He's had some troubles. He's working at it every morning, as we've talked about. I don't know if there's more upside or not to what they deem to be a more athletic, even though Ben is very athletic, but a more athletic Odubel Herrera. Would you prefer to have a better defensive player in center field?
I would. Yeah. I'll take a better defensive player any day over a stronger arm in left field. He's your captain in center field.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Revere.
I guess you go through the major leagues and look how many center fielders have really good arms out there. Handful.
Off the top of my head, I can't. Even B.J. Upton, who's in Atlanta, doesn't have the same arm that he used to have.
Jones from Baltimore, he has a pretty solid.
He does have
a good arm.
Well, whether it stays like this or not, who knows? It all depends on how Herrera adjusts. I mean, Ben does have his troubles in center field going after baseballs, but he certainly has more experience. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off the hands, out towards short. 2 outs. And that'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate.
Shortstop, Freddie Galvis.
Ben shaking his hands out a little bit after that swing. No strikes. 2-0. Rain's picked up just a little bit. Murph, how's the rain down the left field line?
Similar to the rain behind home plate. It is starting to pick up, as you pointed out.
We have to get you an umbrella of sorts.
Yeah, you would think we can get one of those. But
why don't you ask Woody if he can wear his rain slicker?
Yeah, Woody deserted me.
Oh, he did?
Back into the tunnel, I think. Yeah.
It's because he'll melt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We got to get you a poncho.
So I could spend an inning to put it on.
Anything to entertain us.
Yeah,
we're watching the gentleman right now. He's having a little bit of trouble with it. A little bit of trouble. He's trying to casually do it. I don't know if he knows he's putting his head through the arm.
Oh, Lord. That would be me.
I think he finally realized it. No, he didn't. Swing and a miss. And Galvis is struck out. 3 strikeouts for Pineda. Phillies go down in order. He gave up and said, you know what? The arm, it's well enough. We'll go to the 4th.
him. Chase looking for an off-speed to a nice low fastball. That's the pitch that really got me right there. It was a great changeup with 2 strikes to Carlos Beltran. He's looked nice so far. Work on that slider.
Well, he begins his 3rd inning of work, and there's a slicer out to left. Ben Revere will take it by Mark Teixeira. 1 out here in the 4th inning. And here's Brian McCann. Quick update. Murph has gotten a slicker of sorts. In fact, if the lights went out, we could probably see him a mile away.
Yeah.
That is fluorescence.
Do you like that? We're up there?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, how about that? Well, the great folks at the Clearwater Threshers, John Timberlake and Doug Kemp, came to my rescue. So it's a nice jacket.
Very nice.
John says he wants it back.
I was going to say he's not going to let you keep it.
I don't think so.
All available at the Diamond Outfitters store here.
Just take it, Murph.
Right house. Yeah, he'll never remember.
I'm pretty quick. I'll just run out the door.
Just so you know, the ball girls still have their sunglasses and their visors out. Fastball up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That is optimistic.
Ground ball toward the middle, and that'll get in through for a base hit. They had the shift on. Not that it would have mattered at all, because McCann just fought that one off. 4th hit for the Yankees against Aaron Nola. And here's Alex Rodriguez. All right, so now 2nd time through. McCann's at bat was the 2nd time through for the Yankees, the beginning of it. Changed up his speed there on that.
Yeah, and that's where we talk about adding and subtracting on his fastball. It's like a BP fastball, 90 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour slower than his fastball, but still it's about 4 or 5 miles an hour faster than his changeup. So nice first pitch and good location. And then he comes back with a knee buckler.
That's a better breaking pitch there?
It is. I mean, it's
to a right-hander.
To a right-hander it is, because it started at Rodriguez and kind of buckled him a little bit. He still needs to get on top of it a little bit more and have a little more depth to it.
No balls, 2 strikes to Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez, who last played in the big leagues in 2013. Swing at this. 3rd strikeout for Nola. The fans certainly like that on for a number of reasons.
I like it because the location of this changeup starts top of the strike zone, or I should say the bottom of the strike zone, and drops out. Very nice changeup. A pitch that you usually don't see right-handers throw to right-handers is a changeup.
There's a line drive base hit to center field for Stephen Drew. Got that toward the end of the bat, but that's his 2nd hit against Nola. And that puts runners on 1st and 2nd with 2 outs.
Center fielder Chris Young.
And here's Chris Young.
Well, that one was a little tighter than the one before. I don't know if he's meaning to throw it on that side of the plate, but.
Well, command has always been, at least what everybody has said, his biggest attribute. Competitiveness, too. LSU is not the major leagues, but he pitched in some big-time games for LSU as their #1 starter. Umbrella was hopefully used as a protector on that foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes to Chris Young. Swing and a miss. He got him. 4 strikeouts for Nola, 2 in this inning. He leaves a couple more base runners. They say so far so good. It's not an understatement. He's had base runners to deal with, but he's made the right pitches at the right time, mixing up all kinds of pitches to get the Yanks. Well, the first Hatfield Phillies Franks Dollar Dog Night will be Thursday, April 9th at 7:05 when the Phillies wrap up their series with the Boston Red Sox. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. You can check out all the Dollar Dog Nights and all the promotions the Phillies have scheduled for 2015 anytime by going to Phillies.com. Scoreless ball game as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. All right, Matt, so some eye-opening stuff from Nola today?
And it was. With Carlos Beltran earlier with the changeup. Here he threw a very nice slider, get on top of it a little bit more compared to the ones we've seen before where it was kind of looked a little spinning. This one there, he got out in front a little bit, had a tighter spin to it and a better bite, and that's why he was so far out front with the strikeout.
Well, they said they might want to have him throw 60 pitches or so here today, but it looks like his day may be done because Diekman's starting to throw in the bullpen. He's at 45. Kanzler floats one out toward right center field. That'll drop for a base hit. So he's 2 for 2. Leadoff single against Pineda. And Ryan Howard is the batter. There's Diekman. Howard hit into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up, so 0 for 1. Three-man overshift on the right side. They leave Headley at shortstop. Fastball at the knees, 0-1.
Good take right there.
Good take and a good play by McCann to keep it in front of him. One ball and 2 strikes, 89 miles an hour. Split.
That's just probably his BP fastball, his changeup.
Out toward left field. On the run is Gardner. He's there. That'll make the catch. Kanzler goes back to first. And 1 out for Jeff Francoeur. Jeff Francoeur chatting with Brian McCann. These two guys, good friends in the Braves organization, basically came up together. I think everybody thought that they would be the foundation for that Braves team, and they were for a few years, but a little longer than what it turned out to be. Runner goes, pitch is fouled back.
Kinsler had an unbelievable jump.
Sure did.
Francoeur still got pretty good bat speed.
I don't think anybody has it pinned down yet as far as what the outfield is going to look like when opening day rolls around. And partly because of the injury to Dominic Brown, partly because of the experiment of Herrera in center and Revere in left. You figure those two guys will probably be in the mix somewhere. 0-2 pitch coming to Francoeur. And it's low, 1-2.
This is a good point, though. Really depending on Dominic Brown and his health.
Fouled off the foot of Francoeur. It remains 1-2. You know, there are a handful of guys that are in the mix, obviously. Francoeur is one of them. Jordan Danks is the other. And Dominic is still battling the tendonitis in his Achilles. And has not started to do anything beyond his treatment as of yet. Brian Bogusevic is another one. He's having a good spring. Runner goes. Pitch is looped out towards short. And that will be a double play. Ryan will just toss it over to first. And the Phillies are retired here in the fourth. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. We'll head to the 5th inning in a scoreless game. At 5, Greg Murphy recaps Aaron Nola's first spring training appearance, and Malik Rose returns from the Sixers West Coast trip to look ahead at the remainder of the Sixers season. Watch Philly Sports Talk, presented by Comcast Business. Later tonight on Comcast Sportsnet. Murphy, you looking forward to your appearance on Philly Sports Talk tonight?
Absolutely. Always looking forward to that.
You going to wear your new jacket?
If John Timberlake hasn't taken it back by then yes, I will. Especially if I have to sit out in the rain.
Any conversations with Jake Diekman before he went into the bullpen to warm up?
Well, I actually just asked him how he thought Aaron was out in the bullpen. Was he nervous or excited about it? And he said, no, he looked pretty good. He watched him warm up, and he said he looked like he was ready to go. So that was my conversation with Jake.
I
not
would
so much
say,
about Jake.
No, but I would say what you said about Nola and what Jake Diekman said, that's what we've heard. Is that nothing really phases the kid, which is pretty good.
Yeah, we're hopeful that Aaron will come back in a couple minutes and we can grab him and talk to him about the experience that he just had. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that before this rain cloud above our head opens up and and puts a damper on anything. So, yeah, we've heard that about him, and it certainly looked that way. Even when he got himself into a little bit of trouble, he was able to battle through, and with a nice defensive play as well from Jeff Francoeur. So all in all, I think he's got to be pretty happy with the way the day went.
Now, Matt, you think he's going to sit and watch the game from the dugout?
I think he is going to stay there until the rain comes or until the game is over.
Yeah, see, I figured he'd stay there until at least tomorrow unless someone told him he was allowed to leave. I thought maybe they'd send him back at some point, let him come back and be comfortable in the clubhouse, so we'll see.
Down the left field line, watch it, Murph, and that one is a one-hop off the top of the wall. Ryan on his way to second. He'll get there with his second double of the day. The leadoff double here in the 5th. So Diekman, like Aaron Nola, will have to work with runners in scoring position. And he'll face Brett Gardner. Gardner 0 for 2. Gardner batting leadoff today for the Yankees. We mentioned Jacoby Ellsbury out of the lineup with an injury. Murphy had alluded to this before, and I think we mentioned this during the outset. This is pretty much the Yankees lineup with the exception of Ellsbury and Didi Gregorius, who will be at shortstop, even though Ryan's got 2 doubles here today. Those are only his second and third hits of the spring. Gregorius, meanwhile, is 12 for 39 so far this year, taking over for Derek Jeter at shortstop. One ball, no strikes. Pass ball in there. Left side, and Galvis can't get to it. Ryan's on his way to third. And it'll be first and third with nobody out. And here's Chase Headley. Let's check in with Greg Murphy, who's got a Phil's alumni sighting. Brett Myers is in town.
Brett Myers is in town, and he's here down in the left field corner. Welcome back to Bright House Field, and back to the Phillies organization. It's been a little while since we've seen your face. What brings you back?
Well, down here coaching my 10-year-old travel ball team, but having a good time doing that, and it's good to see familiar faces. And we decided to come by and say hey to everybody. And a lot of people in this organization had a lot to do with my career, and I really appreciate that, and I wanted to tell them that. So.
When guys like yourself come back and you have your World Series ring on, and we get a chance to relive those days as well, the 2008 World Championship. When you see the guys, you see Ryan, you see Chase, you start to think back to those days as well.
Absolutely. I mean, we were all huge. We were a team, and that's something I try to instill in my 10-year-old kids that I'm coaching, is that you got to be a team first, and we were. And we had each other's backs, and that was something that was very special, and that's what winning teams have, each other's backs. And, it's good to see those guys. I consider them family.
I got to ask you, can you pinpoint a best moment for you while you guys made that run? Because I know what mine was for you, but I want to know if it's the same.
Well, I enjoyed watching everybody else do it. When I was in the moment, whatever happened, it happened, But I enjoyed watching, the other guys go out there and do their job day in and day out. I'm glad I was just a part of it, and it was fun to be a part of it. And you know, they were a big part of my life and my career too. So.
The Yanks played a run there on, what was that, a wild pitch, Tom? I had my back to the play. I think it was. Let me ask you this. I know you're coaching and you're still involved in baseball, but also doing some other stuff, some musical stuff. Folks can listen to you and your band. You've got some pretty fun songs. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, something that I've always enjoyed music, you know, hanging out with Camasholi in the video room, and he's a good guitar player and everything like that. So he taught me a lot, and, you know, I started writing songs, and, you know, something that I could just, you know, one day step back and say, you know, I did that. So, you know, I hope people enjoy it and want to check it out and everything like that. It's on iTunes, so.
Tell us the name of the album.
It's called Backwoods Rebel. You can just search my name, and hopefully it'll pop up, and should be 6 songs out in the next month or so. So 6 more songs. So, you know, it's fun. I'm having fun doing it, and that and coaching baseball is trying to do something with my time.
Well, I've heard I've heard 2 of the songs, guys. I don't know if you have. It's a lot of fun. So Brett's doing a good job. Good to see you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good to have you back. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right. We appreciate that, Murph. Our thanks to Brett Myers. Brett finished his major league career. You know, it's amazing. He's only 34 years old. As Beltran waves at the first pitch, it's 0-1. Brett last pitched for the Phillies in 2009. He pitched in 18 games for his career with the Phillies. 73 wins, 63 losses, a former #1 pick. He bounced back in 2010 as a free agent, won 14 games with the Astros, and did so in 33 starts. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-2. There are guys that are still pitching in the big leagues that are older than Brett. Looks good, though.
Yeah, he does.
Outside, 1-2. Yeah, he'll be his 10-year-old travel team will be playing about 20 minutes or so away from here in a tournament that'll be this weekend. Ground ball up the middle and under the glove of Hernandez into center field. Gardner's around third. He'll score. Herrera misplayed the ball. It'll be an RBI single. The error by the center fielder allows the runner to go to third. And it's 2-0 Yankees.
First baseman, Teixeira.
So that's 9 hits now by the Yanks. And Bob McClure will go out because there's still nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. What are you seeing from Jake Diekman right now, Matty?
Well, too much in the middle of the plate. Ryan had a 0-2 pitch it down the left field line. That slide had too much to the plate. Gardner did a nice job of putting the ball in play, but besides that, he's living in the area too much of not hitting the corners.
Well, he still has to deal with Mark Teixeira with runners on first and third and nobody out. Phillies will set up to try to turn 2 and get out of this inning. Rain starts to fall a little harder. Out of play off to the right. It's 0-1.
I figure before the season starts, Diekman might have 2, maybe 3 more appearances before opening day.
Will he go back to back, do you think?
I don't know.
I know closers like to do that, but do guys that are working out of the pen like to do that are setup guys?
I don't know. And we talked about it earlier in spring that it has to be tough for relievers because they're so used to being on that edge every day of maybe pitching unless they're shut down. They go 3-4 days in a row. Here, you know, here's your schedule. You're going to pitch Monday, Thursday.
And that's pretty much it.
Right. You know, for hitters, that you get a chance, you're going to be out there, and you know you're going to get an opportunity to hit. But for pitchers, it's bullpen's different.
Drive base hit to left field. Headley will score. Up to second goes Beltran, and it's now 3-0. Yankees on top. So an RBI single that'll bring Brian McCann to the plate. Well, not to make any excuses for Jake Diekman, but relievers do have appearances like this during spring training at certain times. You know, this is unlike what we normally see from Diekman, though.
Well, and it is, and you'd rather see this kind of outing right now than his last one up in Philadelphia before opening day. Now he can go back and he can work on a few things. I remember one year Ben Sheets for the Milwaukee Brewers had his last outing before opening day. He was the open day starter. We were all fired up. 9 runs. He got 1 out. On his last start in spring training.
Oh, boy.
It's like, that's a good way to go into the season.
So for those next 4 days, there was doubt. Is everything all right with Ben Sheets?
Well, and you know, with Diekman, it's just location, and he'll be fine. But it has to be difficult for a guy that knows that he might pitch 3 days in a row, maybe 4 days, depending on how many pitches they throw. Hitters, it's totally different for hitters because we know we're going to get 3 at-bats on a Monday, Tuesday, maybe have Wednesday off. We get our timing down, but it's the same way as pitchers. They lose their timing.
Well, there's Hector Neris, who's starting to throw in the bullpen for the Phils. 22 pitches right now for Jake Diekman. Fly ball down the right field line. Francoeur in fair territory makes the catch. And Beltran does not advance. So the first out is recorded. And Alex Rodriguez will be coming up. Rodriguez is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Ball at 1 strike. Fastball at the knees, 1-2. His velocity is there. Just command more than anything else. Command within the strike zone.
Right. And that last pitch was 95 at the knees on the corner. No, that was a good miss.
Tried to check his swing. Did he go? No. This is the first base umpire, Rick Carapaza. 3-2. All right, Matt, take a look. What do you think? He did not go.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with the umpire.
There'll be a lot of wishful thinking with Alex Rodriguez this year. Ball 4. And that will load up the bases. And that'll bring Stephen Drew to the plate. Here's Alex Rodriguez's career. 3-time American League MVP, suspended for the entire 2014 season. But his numbers, tainted as they are, 654 home runs and just under 2,000 RBIs. I don't know what history will make of those numbers because of the suspension and because of the use of steroids prior to the suspension. When did he start? How early in his career? I don't think anybody will ever know that.
I find it interesting. This year A-Rod has performance bonuses.
Correct.
For certain home runs, and
right.
the Yankees do not want to pay them.
1 ball, no strikes to Drew. Now 2-0. Little looper down the left field line. That'll drop for a base hit. 2 runs at least will score. Revere's throw to the plate is offline. And the Yankees have opened it up here. They now lead it 5-0 in the top of the 5th inning. And Drew is 3 for 3. Here comes Ryan Sandberg. So that's going to be it for Jake Diekman. So he's done after getting 1 out and so far allowing 5 runs. The runners on first and second are his responsibility. And Hector Neris is going to come on to face Chris Young, try to get the last couple outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Bike the city with us at the inaugural Phillies Charities Bike Ride. Join hundreds of cyclists for a 25-mile ride through Philadelphia on Sunday, May 17th. Net proceeds from the event benefit Phillies Charities. Register now at phillies.com/bike ride. Well, as the rain falls here at Bright House Field, the Phillies trail at 5-0 as we are still here in the top of the 5th inning. Jake Diekman went 1/3 of an inning and has so far been charged with 5 runs. And he is responsible for the 2 base runners that are on. And Chris Young will come up to bat against Hector Neris. Neris so far this spring, this is his 8th game, previous 7. An ERA of 5.87. Chris Young is 0 for 2. He has hit a fly ball into a double play and then struck out his last time up. First pitch is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. That ball had to slip out of his hand, didn't it?
It was 82.
That ball had to slip out of his hand.
I thought it was a pitch out.
Fly ball toward right center field. Herrera's on the run. He's not going to get there. It's going to be a one-hop off the wall. Rodriguez will score. Rounding third, heading for home is Stephen Drew. The throw by Hernandez will come to the plate, but 2 more runs score. It's a 2-run double by Chris Young. It's 7-0 Yankees. And he closed the line on Jake Diekman. 7 runs. That's now 12 hits for New York.
Location. We've been talking about location this inning, and that's a fastball out over the plate. The good hitters will make mistake pitches and crush them. It's all right, Dick. That's something you just forget about. Don't worry about it.
Well, here's Ryan, who started this rally with a double. He's 2 for 2. Takes up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Cameron Rupp out to the mound to talk to Hector Neris. I think one thing that's standing out recently is that the hitters are starting to catch up with the pitchers. We talked the first couple weeks of spring training how good the Phillies bullpen has been, but now as hitters are getting more swings and getting more timing, that's kind of changing. The numbers are coming back down to earth a little bit.
Well, as hitters, you're going to start at the bottom. Your timing's going to get better. Then all of a sudden you're going to peak, but you will have that downtime.
Right.
But you're at 50 or 60 at bats right now. Your timing should be at the point where you want to be.
Upstairs and now 2-1.
This is a situation right here I noticed when Drew was coming in to score. You need to always slide. That is a good way there, especially when it's wet. He slipped a little bit. So for the young guys that are watching the game, when in doubt, you slide into bases.
Well, I think the point that you made, it's particularly when it's wet like this. I didn't know if Rupp was in his way or not.
Not allowed to be.
Not allowed to be. Sometimes it doesn't stop them from being. Chris Young leads off second. Yankees have scored 7 runs here in the top of the 5th inning. Chopper to shortstop. Galvis looks the runner over to third, flips to first, and there are 2 outs.
Brett Gardner.
And now Brett Gardner, who singled his last time up in this inning. Just off the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Neris pitched in 1 game last year with the big club.
Nervous likes to throw that split finger fastball.
In the dirt, and now 3-2. Well, that is his bread and butter pitch. Here's Chase Headley on deck. Headley also singled earlier in this inning. It's the 11th man to bat in the inning for the Yankees. And ball 4. Well, this has certainly been a forgettable inning on every account. Rupp out to chat with Neris. The Yankees may have to get somebody up and loosening soon because Pineda's been sitting for a long time. The Yankees have their first substitution. Jake Cave will come on to pinch run for Brett Gardner. So Cave will replace Gardner. And yeah, they do have a left-hander that's starting to loosen up in the bullpen. Jacob Lindgren. I mean, they want Pineda to get innings in, but he's been sitting for a while. Headley swings at the first pitch down the left field line. Playable for Ben Revere. And he'll make the catch, and the inning is finally over. 12 men come to the plate for Joe Girardi's Yankees. They scored 7 runs. So we'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 7-0. Rainy day here in Clearwater, Florida, where the Phillies trail the Yankees 7-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Yankees have wholesale changes except for their starting pitcher. That guy will remain the same. It's Michael Pineda. And Brian McCann is the same behind the plate. But other than that, we can go along the diamond and give you the changes. What's 4A?
I don't know.
What are you doing there, Matt? Jonathan Galvez will take over at first base for the Yankees. New second baseman is Rob Refsnyder. Nick Noonan takes over at shortstop. And over at third base is Cole Figueroa. Meanwhile, in the outfield, in left field, Tyler Austin. Jake Cave, who came on to pinch run, is in center field. And then Aaron Judge is around in right fields. There's Jake Cave. Brian McCann stays in the game. Michael Pineda stays in the game to pitch. And Odubel Herrera. You all straight now at the telestrator? What do you got going on there?
I don't know. I was going to put a little bit of
Arrows everywhere.
Yeah. We're good.
Herrera singled his only time up, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Pineda so far has allowed just 4 hits over 4 innings of work. He got a double play in the first. He got a double play in the fourth. And Herrera whacks that foul. It's 0-2. Lindgren still throwing in the bullpen for the Yanks, or at least stretching in the bullpen for the Yankees. Meanwhile, for the Phillies, their bullpen is quiet at this point. Up the first base line, that'll roll foul. Herrera's going to need a bigger helmet if his hair keeps growing. Helmet flipped right over his nose. Well, from a Yankee standpoint, you have to be happy with what you're seeing from Pineda today, particularly his splits.
That was one thing with the scouting reports, that he had excellent control, which is impressive for a guy that throws that hard. Sinker, cutter, pretty good slider.
Opposite way, Figueroa's got it. Quickly flips it over to first. 1 out. And now Cesar Hernandez is coming up. Hatfield Phillies Frank's Dollar Dog Night. The first one will be Thursday, April 9th, when the Phillies take on the Boston Red Sox. It's all part of the opening week of festivities at Citizens Bank Park, the 6th, the 8th, and the 9th. Tickets are available for our first Hatfield Phillies Frank Dollar Dog Night by going to Phillies.com. Fastball over for Cesar Hernandez. It's 0-1. He struck out his only time up. It was pretty close to being good morning, good afternoon, and good night right there.
It was.
Did he go? Yes, he did, says Dan Iasonia. Strikeout number 4. And here's Cameron Rupp. I don't know, Matt. This kid's looked really good today for the Yankees. He's got everything working right now.
He really does. Just it's a tight slider. You throw a lot of strikes, you can, and you're around the home plate with every single pitch. It can make a long day for hitters, especially if you're controlling both sides of the plate.
Rupp swings at the first pitch. It's 0-1. He's one of 9 players in camp for the Yankees that stand 6'4" or taller. I mentioned he was 6'7". So is CC Sabathia. One ball and 1 strike.
Tom, the wind has picked up.
It sure has. Well, they said there's I don't even want to use this term, but a cold front coming through.
You can use it.
It's cold for down here. It's not cold for back home or for your neck of the woods.
It's a heat wave for us.
Yeah, that's true. A little high, 3-1. Well, they need to get this last out in for this to be an official ball game. That is what the umpires are going to try to do. Whether they're able to do that or not, well, we shall see. 3 balls, 1 strike to Rupp. Fouls it away. It's 3-2. They have uncovered the tarp down the right field line. Drive base hit it to center field for Rupp. 10th hit of the spring for Cameron Rupp. He thought about 2, but he put the brakes on smartly. And Chris Nelson will come up. I do believe the race for the backup catcher's position is over.
It's good at bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's a fastball. Head down. Looks like he's been doing the whole spring training, driving the ball well.
Yeah, we're not just talking offensively. I mean, offensively, his numbers are good, but he's done a really nice job behind the plate. Coy Hill probably has done the best job handling the young pitchers behind the plate. There's a strike. It's 0-1. From what we've gathered from people, and a lot of these young guys have thrown to Cameron Rupp their entire professional career, that they do like the way he handles the pitchers. And he'll get better with that as he gets more opportunities. No balls and 2 strikes.
Being a backup catcher is a tough role.
But I think partly offensively, but defensively too, right? Just knowing the pitchers, all of them.
I would say it's tougher offensively, just because you're going to lose your timing. You might go 5 days, 6 days without getting to that bat, because you usually don't use a catcher.
Right, unless you have a third one.
Unless you have a third one. So he'll go down, he'll catch bullpens, take extra batting practice.
And a called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. Nelson is called out. Back-to-backs, 2 strikeouts in the inning, I should say. Well, it's looking rather ominous here in Clearwater. They're just going to broom the infield. 7-0 Yanks. On the move, trying to keep this playing field in good shape with the rain falling. We go to the bottom or top of the 6th inning. The Yankees lead at 7-0. Speaking of being on the move, it's time for Murph on the move.
Well, guys, if you're looking for something to do after a baseball game at Bright House Field, how about taking the kids for a little bit of miniature golf? This is like a mecca of miniature golf around here in the Clearwater Beach area. There are a couple dozen different places that you can play. We're here at Captain Bly's Landing right off of South Gulfview Boulevard here in Clearwater Beach. And we're going to play around. I've got my Phillies red golf ball. And it's been a tough day already, but we'll see if I can't get this one to go, guys. That's going to be a tough second shot.
Tough second shot, but Murph was able to can it. I was waiting for the ball to carry him back and go into the hole.
Well, I was waiting to see where that. It's amazing where your second shot started. Well, we didn't see the ball there on the camera, did we?
No, we didn't. Well, different angle.
Oh, I got you.
Murph, can you confirm that we shot a different angle there, that was the legitimate second shot for you?
I can neither confirm or deny that. That was like my 9th take. So.
I thought you did a pretty good job, though. You were in rhythm with it.
Well, thanks.
Pendulum.
Yeah. It was a little strong, but you know,
tough read.
It was a tough read. I think we picked the toughest hole on the course.
We want to test you as much as possible. Here's Aaron Judge to lead things off as we are in the top of the 6th inning. 7-0 Yankees on top. Hector Neris starts him off with a pitch on the plate and then a pitch off the plate. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris McGinnis takes over at first base for Ryan Howard. Judge 278 so far this spring. And it's 1-2. Phil Cuzzy is the crew chief. It's up to him as to whether this game will continue. They must know a report that says the rain is going to slip by. And it's 1-2. And a called strike 3 right on the inside part of the plate. Pretty good placement by Neris. And one out here in the 6th inning. And now Jonathan Galvez will be the hitter, up for the first time. Took over first base for Mark Teixeira. Well, Matt, I'm with you. If the Yankees can pitch a little bit, and if their bullpen can find a little stability, they've got the offense to do some damage in the East. Here's Francoeur. And there are 2 outs.
What do they do? They have their typical American League East ball team. They hit for power. They hit for average. As long as everyone can stay healthy. Carlos coming back. I mean, they have a potential to do well.
So those are their rankings from last year. They did not hit well,
right,
but they had a ton of injuries. I mean, everybody did, but they really did have a ton of injuries that affected them. Earned run average was 8th best in the American League, which isn't too bad at 3.75. Here's Eddie Rodriguez pinch hitting for Brian McCann, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. I mean, the notion is that you've lost Jeter, Gregorius takes over. You've gained A-Rod back. You also get Teixeira healthy, Beltran healthy or healthier. There's a looper into left, a base hit. And Rodriguez is aboard, a 2-out single.
The Yankees batting for Rodriguez, number 86, Kyle Higashioka.
And now Kyle Higashioka will be the pinch hitter for Alex Rodriguez.
I would be surprised if the stolen bases were that high this year for the New York Yankees.
Well, you've got Ellsbury, you've got Gardner.
Right.
Gregorius can run. I'm not saying he's a base stealer, but you're right. Another line drive. This one out towards center. Herrera plays it on a hop, and back-to-back singles for the Yanks. Boy, they are blasting some hits today. That's 14 hits this afternoon for New York.
Second baseman Rob Refsnyder.
And here's Rob Refsnyder. Refsnyder hitting .250 this spring. Refsnyder out of the University of Arizona, where he was an outfielder. Yankees converted him to an infielder. 24-year-old, former 5th-round selection back in 2012. He's hitting .323 this spring, 10 hits and 31 at-bats. With a home run and 4 RBIs. Last year, between AA in Trenton and AAA, he had .318 with 14 home runs. Low, and the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mud's starting to cake up a little bit out there on the pitcher's mound.
Not very often in Florida do you see the lights on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, they've been on for a little while, too. Got a bunch of showers that are coming through the area. 3 balls, 1 strike. I think the next one might do it, though. Low, ball 4. And the bases are now loaded with 2 outs.
Outfielder Tyler Austin.
Cameron Rupp out to chat with Hector Neris. Bases are loaded. 2 men down here in the 6th inning. Is that a lean-to? From our Boy Scout days? That's just improvising. Breaking ball up and in, 1-0. This is Tyler Austin up for the first time. Nick Noonan is in the on-deck circle. Yesterday is starting to carry over to today as far as command goes. Not the easiest of conditions, though, to throw. Foul tip, and it's 2-1. Chopper to third. It's a fair ball down the left field line. This may clear the bases. Austin is already at second, heading toward third. This is going to be a 3-run double, actually. He'll stop at second base. And it's now 10-0 Yankees on top. This was a scoreless game until the 5th inning. Now we're here in the 6th inning. It's 10-zip. So a bases clearing double. And Danai Sonia is now going to pull everybody in, and we're going to put the tarp on the field. So that's going to do it for the time being. The rain has started to fall a little harder, so they've decided to cover it up, and maybe we can resume play at some point. It is an official ball game. The Yankees on top 10-0 with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Everybody heading in from the bullpens, everybody heading in from the dugouts to try to stay dry. And the grounds crew, and they're used to it down here, these storms that pop up pretty quickly. The grounds crew is going to try to get the tarp on the field as fast as possible. So a rain delay here in Clearwater. We've been really fortunate as far as the weather goes here in 2015 at Bright House Field. We've had one other delay to start a ball game, but that's been it. We've been able to play the rest of the schedule without any difficulty whatsoever. Today, though, we've hit a little bit of a speed bump. A delay with the Yankees up 10-0 here at the top of the 6th inning. While we wait for the rain to pass here in Clearwater, enjoy Call to the Hall featuring Phillies president Pat Gillick. came to a close. So they win it this afternoon. The Phillies will be back in action again tomorrow, and then back home again here on Sunday to play at Bright House Field. So this was a scoreless game until the 5th, but the Yankees scored 7 runs in their half of the 5th inning, and because of the rain, the Phillies were able to pull, or the Yankees were able to pull away with the victory. So that'll do it this afternoon here at Bright House Field. As the game has come to a close, Aaron Nola was a bright spot, no doubt. Our thanks to Jeff Halleckman, our producer, John DeSangro, our associate producer. Ray Tipton,